And he is the one that gets them going, especially on the road.
Let's do it tonight from the Rock. Payne, a league shot blocker, 11 blocks on the season. Forcing the pass to Clark. Nearly traveled. New Haven thought he did. Mike Williams nails the early three.
That's a good sign. They're moving the ball. They get the ball to the shooter, Williams, who has the ability to catch, to shoot off the catch with the quick release, and playing inside out is how Seton Hall wants to start their game.
Mike Williams, LSU transfer, 2 years in Baton Rouge. Bumps Fitzpatrick, has nowhere to go, and they reset. Three on the way for Pasha is banked in. Andre Pasha, the sophomore, with 17 in the opener against UConn.
He's a big part of their offense. Their second leading scorer. He's got a nice touch. I don't think he called glass, but he's got a nice feel for the game and a nice touch, as you can see there, shooting the ball effortlessly.
Tie game at 3. Minute gone by. Williams off balance, popped out. Here's Payne fighting and missed the stick back. Right to Williams, the last place you want to save it.
Yep, and that's what you learn in CYO. You don't want to save the ball under your own basket. Unfortunate play for New Haven, and Seton Hall capitalizes with the easy putback.
Blocking foul, Mike Williams, the first of the game here tonight. And there is Shaheen Holloway. They're playing the highlights of the great moments, Tariq, in Seton Hall history before the game, and they had Shaheen's buzzer beater in the NCAA tournament against Oregon in 2000 in Buffalo. Pretty cool.
Oh, he was dynamic. Shaheen Holloway was arguably the best point guard in Seton Hall history, and he did it with class. And 4-year starter, local guy from Queens, even though he spent most of his time in Jersey. And now he's made a great transition as a coach.
Mason Adelai off the mark for New Haven. Pirates trying to run. Bud Clark. State McCray for 3. Weak side Payne battling. Brings it down on the deck and is fouled going up. And Payne's going to shoot a couple for the Pirates. Pleasure talking to Ted Hotaling before the game. 15 years at New Haven. Division II, Northeast 10 last year, and all of a sudden they make the evolution to Division I what felt like in a finger snap, and he spent 18-hour days, Tariq, essentially by himself putting this Division I roster together.
Yeah, it's a pleasure talking to him and just kind of understanding what it's been like for him and his program to make this transition. He said they're taking an inventory of everything, you know, how other teams practice, how they warm up, how they perform in the preseason and the conditioning, and just trying to get his team prepared for this journey. And that's what it is. It's just the first year of them going D1, and a lot to be excited about.
6-3 Seton Hall after Payne won 1 of 2 at the line. Fitzpatrick and takes the long step, and at the first turnover, it's worth noting the Pirates, they average over 8 turnovers. They force 18 turnovers a game to their first 4.
And that's because of the ball pressure, and that is a big sticking point of Seton Hall's defensive identity. They want to make you uncomfortable. They want to switch out and not give you any angles to get to the paint, particularly against a guy like Fitzpatrick, who's so good at using his size and athleticism to get into the paint. They're trying to take away that paint.
Kenai Briggs, number 3 in for New Haven. Up to Payne, and he lofts it through for the Pirates.
A great vision by Clark, the point guard who we talked about, with the ability to find the open man, and a great target in Payne at 7 feet with the easy alley-oop for the finish.
Pirates 3 of 6, New Haven 1 of 2. Fitzpatrick slips, and a steal for Clark.
Another great job by Clark, cutting off that angle, keeping Fitzpatrick out of the paint, and quick hands for the deflection.
A.J. State McCray to Mike Williams, made the early 3. Here's Clark, thought about it twice. Into a swarm of Chargers, knocked away by Fitzpatrick in a steal.
And went a little too deep with that penetration, Clark did.
Catch and shoot 3, off the mark for Najimy George. And there's Shaheen saying, let's go, right?
Yeah, they want to play with pace, and they want to push that tempo and try to wear teams out.
Williams with his second 3.
Second assist for Clark. Keeping it simple. And Mike Williams, coming off a 10-point performance in their last outing, off to a strong start, not just from three, but also getting into the paint.
And with Fitzpatrick in trouble, he's bailed out by the time.
Play for each other. They seem to know their roles. They have some guys with experience, and that certainly helps. A guy like Elijah Fisher, who's been in the Big East, played at DePaul, double-figure scorer. A guy like Mike Williams, who's a little older, who knows how to play at this level. And then obviously Bud Clark. These guys are experienced, so they know what it takes to be, you know, competitive and, you know, get your team organized early in the season before conference play starts.
George jumps and skips to Fitzpatrick, gets free for a two-point shot, then misses the rim.
Another great job with the contest by Seton McCray, getting a hand in Fitzpatrick's face, and defensively, Seton Hall is locked in.
Payne rebound and put back off the Clark miss.
Well, Payne is so active, and he's always moving. You know, when the ball goes up, he is crashing the glass hard. And so far, New Haven has not been physical enough. They have not put a body on him, and Payne is taking advantage of that in the paint.
New Haven will compete in the Northeast Conference this year. Three-pointer for Briggs is good.
And looking shot by the senior guard, Briggs, from Albany transfer. One of their upperclassmen, a 6'3" senior, lefty, smooth-looking shot.
That's where Ted O'Talling played in college at Division III in the mid-90s. So Division III player, Division II head coach, and now Division I head coach. Off the steal, Briggs to the basket. No, overrun that time by Fallapa. Here come the Pirates. Payne running the floor to lay it in. Nice assist by Williams.
Well, two things jump out. First of all, Payne runs the floor like a gazelle. Fastest guy on the floor, and easy basket for Seton Hall. Defensively, though, New Haven, one of the keys to the game for them is defensive transition. Poor job there getting back, giving up an open layup.
Tariq Pirates are 6 for 10. Dump it down to the Italian, Stefano Fallapa. Three missed that time from straight on by Pasha. Williams high stepping. Stade McCray jabs. Williams, the ball fake, the pull up on the foul line. Williams, though, you like the confidence. He has 8 points. He's 3 of 4. Fake the three, look inside, knocked away by Williams and could not save. It's going to stay with New Haven, but it all begins with defense.
That's right, that's right. And their defense is leading to their offense. They're getting back in transition. They're in the right rotation. And they're not just looking to walk the ball up. They want to get it up quick, take advantage of numbers. And no better finisher on the Seton Hall team than Stephon Payne, who runs the floor, knows he's going to get the ball and finishes.
For the Pirates, Ncaa Hines into the game in place of Payne.
We'll talk
New
more
Haven,
about
Beer
this
Anthony
freshman,
in the
your
game.
favorite player, Baby Shaq, as you call him.
I mean, did you hear the fans when he was coming on the floor?
Yeah.
The student section felt it too.
He's got a fan base here. Last game, you know, we saw the 12 or 13 students spelling out Baby Shaq written on their chest.
8 to shoot for New Haven. Fitzpatrick spins, nothing doing. Pasha spins, jumper is good for Andre Pasha, the sophomore from Syracuse, New York.
Well, they're excited about him because of his versatility, just showing that ability to put the ball on the floor. Smooth, 6'9" sophomore with a lot of talent.
They swarm Hines. Floater for Stade McCray is good.
Oh, this New Haven team is trying to close out, but with a guy like Stade McCray, he's a 3-level scorer, not just a catch-and-shoot guy. And nice job reading the defense with the pull-up.
Here's Beer Anthony. Catch-and-shoot three. Traore is short. Yeah, it's going to stay with the Chargers with 20 on the shot clock as they make another change. Tristan Berth, the man from the Bronx, and the freshman in place of the taller Pasha. So they'll go a little smaller here as Jacob Dar enters for Fisher for the Pirates.
Yeah, when we talked to Coach O'Talling about his team, he said they want to play with space and they want to play kind of the new wave style of play, which is usually 5 out. Dribble drive offense, and a nice job right there by Traore, attacking off the bounce.
Parker with the foul for the Pirates. Free throws coming up for Zoumana Traore. Once committed to Brown Tariq. He's from Harlem, freshman.
And one of 3 freshmen as part of the main rotation for this New Haven team.
Yeah, the secret's out. The Pirates block shots at a really high level. 40 blocks, 10 per game, most in the country so far. And Ted O'Taling said, we got to drive, we got to kick. And a lot of teams are going to begin to figure that out too, because they're so good at the rim defending.
Well, you got to take in consideration that this is a team that has 2 elite shot blockers, and that can, play in your favor if you have shooting and you have the ability to drive and kick, as you said. But you also don't want to necessarily shy away from the basket. You want to mix it up and still attack the basket when you can.
Chargers are 3 of 9. They've made 2 threes. To the basket goes Anthony for 2.
Nice move by the freshman. A little hesitation dribble to freeze the defender. That allowed him to get to the paint.
But Seton McCray sticks another 3.
Seton McCray and Mike Williams both coming out aggressive, knocking down shots. That means that this team is even harder to guard. This is what Shaheen Holloway has been waiting on. His 2 wings, Seton McCray and Mike Williams, both knocking down shots early at the same time.
They've combined for 13 of Seton Hall's 20 so far. 8 to shoot for the Chargers. Anthony drives the closeout, but denied, going up by Simpkins.
Simpkins is 6'4" with that length and the ability to stay in front. Big guards is a new look for this Seton Hall team.
The 3-point shooting, the Pirates are 4 of 5 to start.
But they're just playing at their own pace, and they're starting on the defensive end. They're getting stops, and then they're going down and converting on the offensive end with a variety of guys making plays.
23-12 Seton Hall. Berth had nowhere to go. Fitzpatrick trapped in the corner, and they reset. Traore for 3. Moonball short. And a loose ball foul, knocked out instead by schedule.
Oh, it's huge because you've proven it, and he has a blueprint as Simpkins continues to impact this game off the bench. His second made field goal. But Mike Williams is the kind of guy, he's a rhythm player, and he's a guy that, I've noticed that he's a 2-way guy. He can guard, he's disruptive in the passing lanes, he's got good size at 6'3", 6'4", and he can impact the game a lot of ways, but offensively, they're counting on him to make shots and stretch the floor with his shooting.
George working around now, catch and shoot 3 for Steele, pops out, but in midair, the stick back for Berth for New Haven. But the 3-point shooting for the Pirates, they're 5 for 6. They're getting great looks, especially off set plays. Williams open lane this time, and it's stripped and stolen.
A nice help side defense by the Chargers with the deflection.
Midway point first half. Berth handoff for Jabri Fitzpatrick, and he's fouled by Parker. It's just the 3rd on Seton Hall, and Trey Parker picks up his 2nd. Bud Clark will re-enter for the Pirates, and for New Haven, Mason Adelai will come on once again for the Chargers.
And it'll be interesting to see if Coach O'Taling and his team make an adjustment. He told me before the game that they want to go under all screens, protect the paint, and try to shrink the floor by maybe mixing up their post coverage. And because they're going under screens, Seton Hall's got a lot of looks from 3 because they're more concerned, New Haven is, with them penetrating. And Seton Hall's taking advantage of that, reading the defense and knocking down their 3-ball tonight.
Tough 3 that time. Veer Anthony, there's your guy once again, now with 5 points.
He looks confident, shooting the ball well, got a nice little handle.
Jacob Dar sets the screen. Here's Williams up top, playing catch with Simpkins. Dar into the lane, up and under, got it, and a foul, and Jacob Dar with a chance at 3.
He's another one of those big wings, playmakers, and that's just a great job by Dar off the swing, and when you swing, you make the defense shift. He got the angle, and with the length and athleticism, able to finish with the contact. That's a big-time play.
Another modern-day success story began in Division II at Emory and Henry in Virginia. Last year at Rice, 6'7". He's got potential to be a really good three-point shooter, but the way he attacks out of the corners has been really impressive.
Well, the way they're playing, he's got a perfect piece because he can drive and slash, and that comes off a great ball movement that Seton Hall is showing by moving the ball and making the extra pass.
Leads 12 for the Pirates. Anthony working outside. Adelaide off the mark on the three. And New Haven now 3 of 9 from beyond the arc. Clark stumbles, lost the ball. It rolls to Veer Anthony.
Well, Clark's got to be better with the ball. He's had a couple careless turnovers where he's just going too deep. Sometimes his speed can be a detriment because he gets a little out of control.
Hines overcommits, then back for a hard foul. And free throws coming up for the Chargers. But back to your point, the Pirates with 5 turnovers and New Haven with 2 early, but none since.
Yeah, well, that's part of the expectation that Shaheen Holloway has of his point guard is to take care of the ball. And he knows you're going to have turnovers, especially if you have the ball in your hands as much as Clark does. But some of these turnovers can be prevented because he's just going too deep in the paint. And because he can get in the paint with his speed, at times he can be a little greedy and try to get a little further than he really needs to get. And sometimes that can get him in trouble.
Berth, 1 of 2 at the line.
And this New Haven team still in man-to-man. And it's kind of a sagging man-to-man where they're more concerned with protecting the paint. And Seton Hall can never get whatever they want.
The block shot by Berth of Hines. No reversal. Adelaide feeds it back for the trailer. Steele. Here's Anthony, the crossover. Look down low, broken up by Dar. It falls though to Adelaide. And they reset with 10 to shoot. Berth, 20-footer. Off the glass, Dar cleans it up.
Really great job with the contest by Hines, and nobody's really crashing the glass offensively for the Chargers. It's 1 and done for them.
Nice feed by Clark, but too much from State McCray. 29-18 Tariq for the Pirates here with over 12 gone by.
Really impressed with Seton Hall's job defensively, particularly in the half court. Communicating, rotating.
And knocked away by Hines, only 5 to shoot. Adelaide will drive on Clark, lost his footing in the ball. Tar to the races to Simpkins, glides in for 2.
And again, the theme for Seton Hall in this first half is scoring off their defense. Live ball turnovers just kill your momentum if you're New Haven. Seton Hall really making the impact on the defensive end.
Seton Hall shooting 63%. And another turnover. Clark outlets. Simpkins. The lefty will pull it out. Clark driving kick. Simpkins now camped out for another 3. His 3rd.
And driving kick by Clark. Nice job getting in the paint. They had great spacing. And Simpkins, big-time scorer, giving them a huge lift off the bench.
Bumped by Simpkins and a foul, the 5th on the Pirates, but Tariq Turner. Seton Hall 7 for their last 9. It's a 34-18 lead in New Orleans.
Defensive forced turnovers or in the half court, they're moving the ball well, and 9 assists is a great stat to look at with still 6 minutes left in the first half.
Simpkins, 11 points. He's 4 of 4. Perfect with 3 3-pointers. Pasha can't answer. Payne grabs it. So Clark, Payne, Dar, Simpkins, and State McCray for Seton Hall. But Clark, little stutter dribble, came down with it and threw it away. And he's a bit out of sorts right now offensively.
Yeah, he's pressing a little bit. And I think, you watch Clark, and he gets in the paint so easily with his ability to use his speed and shiftiness. that at times he can be a little out of control in terms of what he wants to do with the ball. And that's just kind of slowing it down a little bit, still using your speed when you can, but also recognizing that you don't have to make the home run play. Keep it simple.
New Haven scoreless for 3 minutes plus. Fitzpatrick chased by Simpkins and Payne, gets by both. Finger roll popped out to Payne. Clark for the trailer. Stayed McCray, a couple of ball fakes, so back it up against Fitzpatrick. Drive by Simpkins, bumped and still finishes.
Now, he's been really good, Simpkins. At 6'4", the body control and that quick first step allowed him to get that angle. Strong lefty driver. Hard to stop when he gets that momentum.
6'4", 190. Duck in. Look like steps, reverse dunk, goes down for George, but I think that Falopa got away with one.
He did, but how about that dunk, or that, I don't know if you call it a dunk, but it looked like a really athletic play by the sophomore George.
Bud Clark, teardrop misses. 0 for 2 now. He's only taken 2 shots. Fitzpatrick to the basket, missed with the left.
Done a great job contesting Staten McCray with that great effort there defensively.
And the rebound off the Clark miss. Staten McCray with the position for 2.
Well, that had no answers for Seton Hall on the glass either, and Staten McCray with a nice effort, and Payne obviously continues to be an imposing presence in the paint.
8 rebounds for him, 4 offensive. Pull up from 2 goes down for Andre Pasha. Ted O'Telling's really high on the sophomore from upstate.
Well, you can see why. He's versatile. He's got a nice touch. He's got good hands, and he can score it and pass it. Still very young, just a sophomore.
38-22 Pirates. Simpkins the lob and Payne the finish.
Well, you got to love the two-man action there between Simpkins and Payne, and that's a snapshot play that shows that these guys know each other. They know where to be, you know, when one of them makes a play and drives the ball. Good read and react right there by Payne.
9 points for Stephon Payne for the Pirates. Dumped to Falopa. The Italian spins, gets doubled. Pasha trying to bail him out, and Hill shunting out there in Hawaii.
Yeah, well, it's a business trip. It's team bonding, but it is a business trip. They're not going to Hawaii to go get a suntan or go to the ocean. They are going out there to win some games. The non-conference slate is so important, as we know, in terms of implications for March and tournament opportunities. This is a team that's on a mission. Shaheen Holloway is trying to rebound from a tough year last year, and this is a great opportunity for them to beat an ACC team in NC State to lead the way, and that will not be easy because they're playing some good ball as well, the Wolfpack.
First miss by Simpkins was 5 for 5. Anthony handoff for Pasha, and he strokes it from the foul line.
I mean, the young man is talented. He has shown that touch and that ability to spread the floor with his shooting ability. He's got, you know, a really nice release, and he's been the one bright spot so far for this Chargers team.
Josh Rivera, number 7, in for Seton Hall with the ball now. Second game this season. There's the first 3 with a right hand issue. But Clark looking for space. The fadeaway for Clark misses. He's 0 for 3 now, make it 0 for 4.
We'll see if Fitzpatrick, who's been pretty quiet so far, can get himself going. Leading scorer for this team, averages about 14 points a game, along with 5 rebounds.
I think we jinxed our 2 guys to watch. Clark and Fitzpatrick are combined 0 for 7 with no points. This guy's been terrific, Simpkins.
Yeah, he really has, and he's played within himself. He hasn't forced it. Just reading the defense as they double, nice double, but that's how you cut play out of a double. Fisher, you could see that experience right there. He invited the double. He wanted them to double him because that meant that Rivera would be wide open. He didn't panic. A nice cut by Rivera for a high percentage shot.
17 made shots for Seton Hall, 12 assisted. Pasha launches, knocks down the three for New Haven.
He's in a nice rhythm, and Shaheen Holloway will have his name up on the board as the top guy they need to focus on come halftime.
48 seconds left in this first half. And the Pirates' chance at a 2-for-1. High screen for Clark, weaves inside, lane opens, he kicks it out, and it's punched away by Fitzpatrick with 9 to shoot.
Well, Clark again getting a little too deep, and at his size, at about 5'10", he's going to have trouble playing and making those passes if he gets too deep. That's something that they're going to work on with him.
Look out. 5 on the shot clock, but Clark lets it fly. Around but out.
New Haven will hold for 1, as they should. Expect a high ball screen for Fitzpatrick.
13 seconds. Last game, the Chargers down at the break by 7 against UMass Lowell. 6 seconds. Fitzpatrick bounce inside, knocked away by Fisher. A second for the haul, but just late was Simpkins.
It's excellent. 12. Let's see if Fitzpatrick can get himself going. And, you know, New Haven is only down 12 points. There's still a lot of time left, or 14 points, I should say. So there's still enough time for them to make a dent and get back in this game.
3 off the mark for Ncaa George, the only guy back from last year's roster. He sticks around, doesn't go in the portal, and then all of a sudden you look up and they're in Division I. It happened that fast.
Yeah, and they're excited. I mean, we talked to Coach Portaling about this journey and just getting ready for this new era of D1. And he knows it's going to take some time. He's excited about his team and just trying to build step by step, get better each day.
Drive and kick. Out it goes to Pasha. Knocked down by Payne. No whistle on the 3. Fisher, Williams, State McCray, Payne, and Clark for the Pirates. Off the miss. Satellite. Back it goes to George. They don't have a true point guard, but a lot of ball handlers on this roster. State McCray, the strip off the leg of Pasha, and a steal for the Pirates.
Good deflection by State McCray. Just tipped it out and deflected it off of Falopa's foot. And it's another example of State McCray's impact. It's not just on the offensive end. He can be a really solid two-way player, playing both sides of the game.
Bud Clark scoreless in the first half. State McCray attacks to the basket. He'll have a chance at 3 when right at George, and State McCray to the foul line for a free throw.
He's a scorer on all 3 levels of the court.
Tariq, we spoke about it at the very top of the broadcast, the newcomers for the Pirates. He's one of them, but he also has played 115 career games entering the season. Tonight's 120. That's the most of anybody on the roster. He has the experience.
Well,
and now another turnover.
And, you know, he comes in with the reputation as a great defender. He was named to the Southern Conference All-Defensive Team 2 years ago. And he averages almost 2 steals a game in college. So he's a guy that, you know, has really created his identity off the defensive end and really developed into a very talented offensive player as well.
There he is, State McCray against George. Leans in. And knocked out last by Payne for the Pirates.
I think they got that wrong. It looked like that went off in New Haven. Seton Hall showing some full court pressure. We haven't seen a lot of this tonight, but this has been a big staple of their defensive philosophy so far this season. They want to speed the game up, press full court, and here's another deflection by State McCray.
Nice spin move, but off the back of the rim for Andre Pasha. Pirates push the pace again. Fisher Wanted a post up initially, sets a screen, but Clark using it. Shot misses strong. Weak side, Pasha hauls it in. And Clark, it's been one of those nights he's 0 for 7.
Well, he doesn't have to score the ball to play well. And, you know, that is his game, the pull up off the bounce. That's one of his patented go-to moves, but he's got to keep staying aggressive and keep running his team while taking care of the ball.
6 to shoot for New Haven. Pasha, one-legged, and it ricochets to State McCray.
And the ball is sticking for the Chargers. They're not moving the ball well, and it's easier to guard when you don't reverse it at least a couple times. They kept it on one side.
0 of 5 this half. Overall 34%, Tariq. And the lead for the Pirates is 17. 10 to shoot, lob to the rim. State McCray, the alley-oop layup from Williams, and a timeout from New Haven.
Beautiful set play.
TE, multi-team event.
Yeah.
They used to be holiday tournaments.
Yes, it did.
Back in the day, that's what they were called.
was the one I played in.
Here's Clark, the lob. Oh, the tip for Williams left it just a little shallow.
Seton Hall's pressure is not going to slow up in New Haven. They have a turnover problem, and they have an issue with getting good looks. Because Seton Hall is swarming defensively, they're flying around and communicating, and their length has really disrupted the Charger offensive flow.
8 to shoot, poked away by Williams, held up by Pasha. They get it back with 3 to shoot, and the 3 for Stefano Folipa goes down.
Timely shot for the Italian big. Knocks down his first 3 of the game. See if that can give him some rhythm.
Mike Williams running the show, but Clark gets the ball back. Williams, great first half. 8 points overall. He's cooled down a little bit. Inside Payne, 2 to shoot, hook shot short.
Did everything right except finish. It was good ball movement, nice dump down to Payne, and comes up a little short on that jump hook.
Pasha drop step.
Good defense by Payne there.
And a loose ball foul on the weak side. I think it's Fisher for the Pirates with the knockdown of Stefano Folipa. We step aside. Timeout on the floor.
And she's a guy that you can count on because he knows what his role is. And his role is to play on and off the ball, make plays offensively, and just be a guy that can loosen the floor with his range.
Hines in for the Pirates in place of Payne out of the last timeout. Here Anthony for New Haven, number 10, gets the ball back from Fitzpatrick. 3 off the back of the rim. Hines cleans it up.
Continues to be one shot and done for the Chargers.
Fisher lines it up and hits the 3.
Fisher, who's been quiet tonight, had plenty of time to get that shot off, and I just like the way that Seton Hall is playing so unselfishly. They're looking for each other and making the easy play.
Weave action for New Haven. The drive for George. He's fouled by Clark. And Jimmy George, local guy from Bridgeport, will shoot a pair for the Chargers.
Sophomore has got good athleticism from Bridgeport, Connecticut. He's done well offensively, scoring 15+ points in 3 of the 5 games played so far this season. That was a good example of his driving ability. That was a nice set play, a little misdirection, dribble handoff action that they ran to get him downhill, and he took advantage of it by getting that angle and getting to the paint.
Simpkins re-enters. You see the line. He made his first 5 shots in along with Trey Parker for Clark and State McCray as George gets the bounce on the second.
Shaheen going with Parker, who's their backup point guard, number 13, Trey Parker from NC State transfer.
Hines missed the turnaround bunny, deflects to Fisher, and he's fouled on the pass. And number 2 on the Chargers this half. Now Clark offensively has struggled, but when he's on the floor, obviously, that's a Seton Hall team at its best when you have your point guard playing with the starters.
No question. And, you know, Trey Parker also is someone that you can expect to play significant minutes as they get deeper into conference play. You got to have 2 point guards in most cases to be a winning team. Whether you're coming off the bench or not, Parker will be an important role, have an important role on this team.
Falapa with the foul, his second. Clark with 5 assists, 2 steals on the night. Simpkins trying to double him this time. Reverse the floor, Fisher the drive, Banker missed. Pulled down by Anthony and rips it away from 2 Pirates. The freshman from Queens out of St. Francis Prep, not far from where you
right down the street
went to college.
Right down the street.
Down Union Turnpike. Falapa, extra step. And the pass deflected out. It's going to stay with the Chargers with 10 on the 30. Feel like you need a long piece of paper to write off the famous guys out of St. Francis Prep.
Oh,
so Torrey among them. And Fisher with a very quick foul that time. So he's got 2, and the 3rd on the haul this half. Fitzpatrick awfully quiet, one of their top scorers, 0 for 4 and scoreless. He swings, Falapa lines it up, and rattles in the 3.
Falapa with his second 3, and you know he's a guy that leads him in rebounding, but he can also step out and catch and shoot. As you see there at 6'9", he's more of a face-up player than a back-to-the-basket big. This New Haven team doesn't really have a traditional big where you can just dump it down low and get a basket. They have, you know, kind of more of a finesse, face-up kind of team, and a lot of teams are playing that way anyways this time of the year, or this time of this era of basketball. 5 out, positionless, and try to exploit the matchups.
Williams the fake, steps out, fires a 3. And gets knocked down. Hines had it for a second, snatched by Anthony. Ted O'Talling told us before the game as Fitzpatrick is stripped and it's knocked out by the Pirates. He said, the NBA doesn't look at the Division I game. If they followed the Northeast 10 where we played in Division II for a long time, that's really what NBA basketball has become.
Yeah, he made the analogy of, you know, basketball coaches watching football sometimes and how they run the spread offense, and you know, give you, an emphasis of spacing and tempo, and how that kind of applies to basketball, where you're really playing 5 guys out on the perimeter that can drive, pass, and shoot.
Inside, nice Anthony with the cut and finish.
Yeah, that was a nice job coming from the weak side, and good vision by Falapa for the assist.
Under 12 left. Parker lines up a 3. Long bounce, snatched by Berth. All of a sudden, the Seton Hall lead that was once 19 is at 13.
Yeah, this New Haven team is hanging around. Last couple of possessions, they've been better defensively.
8 to shoot. George cut off. Up top it goes. Fitzpatrick into a 3 that misses. And a loose ball foul on Tristan Berth. The 5th on the Chargers. And Berth with his first. 50-30.
Obviously, he gets that there has to be some kind of process when you transition from D2 to D1. And he's looking at this first year as a chance to compete, see where they're at as a program, and get their guys ready for conference play. And certainly you can see they have some pieces. Pasha, the big man, is super talented, and Fitzpatrick, although he's not playing great tonight, is a big part of their team as well.
They swarm the ball. Fitzpatrick dumps it off. Traore fouled by Hines.
Shaheen Holloway over on the sideline with his hands on his face. He doesn't look happy because he knows this is a lot of time. They're only up 13 points. And momentum is something that all coaches worry about. You know, he's rubbing the temples like he's got a migraine, and he wants his team to not relax, not get complacent. Just because they've been in control doesn't mean this New Haven team can't get some momentum as they're trying to now. Oh, a 3-second violation on New Haven. I believe that was Berth who got called for camping out in the lane too long.
You don't see that very often. Jeff Clark with the call.
Here's that dribble drive offense by the Pirates.
Stade McCray tried to dump it off, instead deflects off the foot. Hines on one knee, went down, and we get a jump, and the arrow says Pirates keep it with 11 to shoot.
Still enough time to get a good shot, and Seton Hall has been great offensively tonight. 58% from the field, 15 assists. They've cooled off on the three. They haven't made 1 3 in the second half yet.
Tar misfires, rebound Traore. Pirates 21% this half. New Haven, not much better, 3 of 10. But a 6-0 run right now in over 4 minutes. Pirates a drought of nearly 5 minutes. Fitzpatrick with 10 to shoot. Clark staying on him and drags him down. That's the 5th on the haul. And Adam Bud Clark with his 2nd.
I like Fitzpatrick using his size. He hasn't shot the ball well from the perimeter. He has Clark on him, a smaller guy, and said, let me just take you into the paint and use my size to draw the foul.
Falopa fires, left it short, and the bounce is going to keep it with the Chargers. This game is stuck in the mud right now, Tariq.
It is. Yeah, and Seton Hall in just a little bit of an offensive drought here, and you got to give the Chargers some credit. They've had something to do with that.
Breaks in, the lefty, number 3 in Navy. Traore working baseline, doubled, swarmed. They reset to Fitzpatrick. 8 to shoot for the Chargers of New Haven. Up top, Fitzpatrick on Stade McCray. The dump off broken up, and a violation as the 30-second shot clock expired.
Great job rotating by Seton Hall and not getting beat off the dribble. Fitzpatrick had nowhere to go, and that was as good as a turnover.
5 turnovers this half for New Haven, 10 total. Clark off the screen and roll. Gets it back from Simpkins. Hines. Backdoor bounce, Starr, the cut and the finish.
Well, there's 2 things that jumped out. First, the pass. Great pass by Hines, but Dar is starting to show that sign of being one of the better cutters on this team. And just nice job of reading the defense, getting in the back. That's Clark with the steal.
And Bud Clark, his first points tonight. Another steal for Clark and a timeout by New Haven. Clark with 3 steals in this one.
Well, we talked about Seton Hall being on the drought. Well, that drought's over because now they're back to scoring the ball. Hype has been really something. Kind of a surprise, Ed, almost.
Yeah.
Coming into the season. I did not expect them to be that dynamic in terms of blocking shots. But it's allowed them to pressure the ball even more with that backside protection.
You mentioned the 2 leading shot blockers. They have 27 combined, Hines and Payne. But it seems like they can do it by themselves. And that allows others to get involved too. And it creates such a presence in the paint that really could be a strength come Big East play. New Haven's taking the approach of driving and getting it away from those guys. Here Anthony sets it up for Falopa. 5 to shoot for New Haven. Fitzpatrick on a fadeaway. He's been off all night, now 0 for 6.
This excellent defensive rotation. Everybody on sync like a chain line. Seton Hall defensively in terms of their rotations.
A clear out for Clark. Deflects to Simpkins. And they reset with 10 to shoot. Clark to Simpkins, lines up a 3, misses that time. He made his first 5 shots in the first half. Simpkins now 5 for 7. Intercept for Parker. Simpkins running the floor, tucks it, and he'll shoot a pair. Nice answer by the Pirates after the long drought. They lead by
deep into the tournament. Alex Caravan playing as well as anyone in the country. An experienced senior, their leader, their captain, and then the big man Terrace Reed coming back from an injury. Still not fully healthy, but 21 and 12, I believe, versus BYU, and they don't even have the dynamic freshman back, Mullins, the shooter. UConn dynamic freshman with the ankle injury, so they're not even fully back yet, but tomorrow night will be a big statement game for UConn and the Big East.
Huskies 4-0, Georgetown's 4-0 after beating Clemson the other night. And Seton Hall is 4-0 and trying to get off to their first 5-0 start since the 2014-15 season. Nice spin move, drop step, but the shot off the mark from Pasha.
Obviously the Johnny St. John's, number 14 in the country as well. 2-1 so far, and getting ready to go out to Vegas for Thanksgiving and play Iowa State and Baylor. So things are heating up for the league and the country with college hoops.
We'll tune up next for your Johnnies against Bucknell. Only loss against Alabama, that one at the Garden, the shootout, if you will, as George back of the rim, front of the rim, and Payne clears it. But Danny Hurley, as Clark's nearly stripped, I mean, you mentioned getting ready, big picture for March and the NCAA tournament. No shortage of star power in terms of opponents in the non-conference for UConn.
Oh, no. I mean, Arizona, to name a few. They've got a freshman in Ncaa, Pete, who is going to be a lottery pick, and he is dominant. I mean, he is coming out of high school. He was a top 5 player, and he's proven now to be a top 5 freshman in a loaded freshman class. AJ Debonsa from BYU. You've got Cam Boozer from Duke. You've got so many talented freshmen, and Pete is right up there with the best of them. So a big test for UConn, and that's why you got to love college basketball, especially as we get ready for the league.
Oh, Simpkins drills another 3. That's his 4th 3 tonight. He's got 18 now.
Simpkins playing great basketball. He's got a twin brother, by the way, at Oregon. They were in the backcourt together at Elon College, and they're both making the jump to the next level of college, high major level, with ease.
Simpkins, a season best with 18. His career high is 27, and that was last year when he played at Elon.
Yeah, TJ is what they call him. TJ Simpkins, and his brother is TK Simpkins.
That's an announcer's dream, right?
Yeah.
When they're on the same team.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of good freshmen as well, and we talked about a few of them. Another one is Darren Peterson out of Kansas. He's being held out right now with a little hamstring issue, but he is a stud. A 6'4" shooting guard who some people say will be the first pick in the draft, but it's one of those drafts where it's a lot of different people that could go high.
And they're at the Garden tonight, Kansas.
Oh, yeah.
Against Duke at 9 Eastern. You can watch on the ESPN app, of course. Strip from Fitzpatrick, gets the ball back and scores for his first points here tonight.
Fitzpatrick, not a typical game for him, leads them in scoring. And
Ooh, that was a nice move by Payne in the Arsenal.
Well, you know what was nice about that is he saw the double come from the middle, and he just read it perfectly and spun away from the double and made a quick, decisive move.
Final 4 minutes here at the Rock. And the lead 20 for the Pirates. It's been as large as 22 moments ago. New Haven, their first year against the Division I schedule. Their move to D1 in the NEC was so fast as the air ball is cleared by Parker and they let it play on. Simpkins can get free, but Clark does off the dribble, but good close out that time by Steele.
Nice job by Clark recognizing numbers and just
stripped. Fitzpatrick leads the break 2 against 3 and off the side of the backboard with some help by Simpkins. But the Pirates, when this night's done, will be 5-0 for the first time in over 10 seasons.
And you know, the thing that I like about this team is they have multiple people that can make plays, and it's not a one-person dominant team.
Yep. Balance tonight, you have 3 in double figures.
Flexion on the full court pressure and another turnover by New Haven.
That's 12, make it 13 tonight. Hines double team, they work it around. Parker with the left, Hines the cleanup, that's batted out to Parker. Simpkins tucks it, Rivera to the spot, driving baseline to the basket. Hines, and there was a foul. And Rivera's gonna shoot a pair for Seton Hall with 2:21 left.
Well, anytime you see Rivera explode like that, you got to get excited. He's one of the best athletes on this Seton Hall team, and he's got great size and strength. 6'6", 225. Fordham transfer. Was a good player in the A-10 at Fordham, averaged almost 11 points, and finally back healthy. He's another guy in this rotation that can give you some of that versatility we keep talking about.
Made his debut against Monmouth 5 days ago. Was hampered by a right hand injury, but he's back. And so far tonight, Rivera's scored 3. And goes 1 for 2 here. Both teams. Seton Hall, I think, figuring out how to go deep. New Haven, not so much the personnel. That seems to be pretty steady for Ted Hotaling. It's more, he's given them a little more freedom than you naturally would get because they're gearing up for January 3rd. That NEC opener, as the foul is going to send Trey Parker to the line for 2. They'll play Stonehill up in Massachusetts, and it's, okay, it's that year we're not going to play in the postseason, but conference play, and we saw with Merrimack a few years ago, they won the NEC but couldn't go play in the NCAA tournament. But they're using these early months to get ready for when it really counts.
Great point. And there's no better way to get ready for conference play than playing, you know, high caliber programs like a Seton Hall and just seeing where you are as a team, as a program. And, you know, even though they probably won't win this game, you know, they have you know, they have a body of work that they can look at and say, okay, this is what we like, this is what we didn't like, this is where we can improve. And this is part of what Coach Hotaling has talked about. You know, this growing pains, you're going to learn some tough lessons, and tonight is one of those on the road.
To their credit, they actually did a decent job of keeping with the Pirates' tempo at times, and they didn't get sucked into the shot blocking inside either.
Hey, you're right. They cut it to, I think, 9 or 10, you know, put Seton Hall in almost a 5-minute offensive drought, and Seton Hall was able to recover from that. But they've got some pieces here. You know, the big guy, Pasha, especially, and Fitzpatrick, is a nice big little combo to work around.
And the Pirates will start to slow it up, run some clock with $1:17 to play. Hines quiet offensively, and as I say that, he goes to the lefty hook.
Yeah, looked real comfortable with it too, and a nice weak side action to occupy the help defense and allow Hines to get a one-on-one matchup that he liked.
That was his first basket tonight. Yeah, what a way to close. Fitzpatrick in the final minute. George, their only guy back from last year. Centerpiece. Here, Anthony, no. 40 seconds to play. And now a timeout just to get the benches emptied for both sides. And tomorrow, get your plane tickets ready. If you're the Hall, it's on to Maui. They'll have some time to get there, settle in. NC State, Will Wade's team on Monday. 9 o'clock local time there in Maui. Boise State or USC to follow, and then TBD that third day. And then they come back for one against Central Connecticut, then at Kansas State. They've got Rutgers as well here at the Rock.
That NC State team will be a nice test for Seton Hall. Darian Williams, ACC preseason player of the year. Big time player for the Wolfpack. Will be up for that challenge.
"13 seconds. The fans rise in Newark. Gabriel stripped. And the layup's good for Dior Kennedy, playing it till the end. 2 seconds and 1, and the Pirates 5-0 for the first time